Okay, I believe we have a very special guest here tonight, and it'll be showing up live. Please, everybody, welcome to the stream, Oski, the Mayan warrior.
Man, good Lord, it took an eternity to get connected with you guys. What's going on? I mean, what kind of settings y'all have there? I mean, it feels like I was trying to get into Fort Knox.
Oh yeah, we got to keep it like that. We don't know who's trying to get in here.
Man, I'm telling you, good Lord. Last time I was asked so many credentials is last time I went to WWE.
Really?
Gee, wow,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
man, not even at the border. I was asked for so many credentials.
Yeah. Well, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. That's why, you got to make sure you're the real deal. And I see you're the real deal,
I get it.
Asti.
It's the mask. It's the mask. I get it. You gotta find your security.
Yeah, yeah. So, Oski, that's how you pronounce your name, right? Oski, the Mayan warrior?
Yes, that is correct. Aski, the Mayan warrior. Yes.
Okay. Well, how did you come about that name? Where'd you get that name from?
The name Aski derives from a Mayan dialect. It's called Oromi, which is basically is somewhat almost a dead language that the Mayans used to speak back in their civilization. And Aski loosely translates into friend, basically. So
Wow.
Oski
Okay.
means friend, and Oromi would So that's what the loosely translated version is.
That's amazing. Wow. That's incredible. That's
Which
cool.
is ironic because the Mayans were not known to be very friendly.
Yeah. So it's like two polar opposites then, right?
Right, exactly. And but I do come from a descendancy down in I'm originally from Mexico. I was born in León, Guanajuato, and my somewhat of my past descendancy derives from the Mayan culture. So so it's kind of like uh, paying homage to my not only to my culture, to my heritage, but to my ancestors from back in that civilization.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And who would you say inspired you to become like a professional wrestler? And who would you say is like the most influential in your decision to do that?
Well, geez, be honest with you, I 20 years ago I wouldn't have been able to tell you I had a I had the desire to become a professional wrestler. Um, did I grow up watching wrestling? Of course, I grew up watching both Mexican lucha libre. I grew up watching El Santo, Blue Demon, Mil Máscaras, Tinieblas, Perro Aguayo, uh, el, uh, Cavernario Galindo. I grew up watching all these guys when I was a young kid in Mexico. And I think that's the guy that prevented me from getting into being here on time. So I might have to blame Rodrigo for this whole thing. Uh,
Oh, come on.
and
It's a piece of shit. Your internet's a piece of shit.
well, let's just you're the one that gave me the link, so let's just say that you're the one that started this whole thing. So, anyways, let me go back to what you were asking. And here in the America, when I came to the United States, obviously I grew up started watching, your Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, uh, the Freebirds, the Bon Erics, uh, being living here in Dallas, obviously, grew up, watching Sportatorium, and so. But I can tell you that as far as idols, I can say it was in Mexico. It would have been Blue Demon
Wow.
Senior, and and here in the United States, obviously, I've had a lot of people that I looked up to, but one of them one of the guys that I looked up to in the past was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was one. Also, the other person that I also looked up to was Dean Malenko. Was also another wrestler that actually inspired me. When I to be when I started watching wrestling back then, back when I was young.
Excuse me, Aski. My question is about Mil Mascaras. How about him? Was
What
he an
about him?
inspiration?
What about him?
Come on, that's an old
Well,
timer.
look, I'll be completely honest with you. I have a lot of respect for I have a lot of respect for Mil Mascaras. He is one of the pioneer Mexican luchadors that did open up the pathway to guys like Rey Mysterio, like like yours truly, like you know, countless of other match wrestlers that have come after him. Uh, so I'll give him his credit. He is a living legend. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Wow. And you've performed in Dallas, Texas. Like, where else have you performed?
I've been a professional wrestler for 20 years already. So I've traveled pretty much from coast to coast here in the United States. I've traveled across to Canada. I wrestled down in Mexico. Came, I have to go back to my, to my roots. So I've traveled down, down the Republic of Mexico several times, and all with successful tours here in the United States. I've gone from the East Coast to the West Coast, North, and and obviously here in the great state of Texas.
Wow, that's amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah,
And
it's been a long road travel. I'll tell you that, but it's all been very. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed every town I've visited, every fan that I've shaken hands with, I cheered, booed. You know what? 20 years, I've enjoyed it.
and how different is wrestling in Mexico than in the States?
Uh, we have a way that of seeing it. Down in Mexico, we look at it more as the sport, is the idea of showcasing our athletic abilities, our versus what here in the States. When I first started training here, and as the wrestling evolved, it became more of an entertainment aspect of it. Uh, Obviously, there are still a lot of vets in the business that are still trying to that continue to to invest and instill into the younger generation that this is still a sport that that we have to cherish, and we can't allow it to continue moving into that entertainment aspect of it. I mean, at the end of the day, we still put our bodies on the line. We are trained professionals. We are trained athletes that can go toe to toe for about an hour sometimes at times, and put our bodies to the extreme limit.
Wow.
So
And
I consider that very different. I mean, Mexico, they have the tradition of keeping it as the actual sport. No very little entertainment to it. It's more the sports ability versus the entertainment side of it.
oh, okay. And then where does the mask come into play, like in tradition and
Well, the mask is very important for a masked luchador. I mean, we're talking about long tradition. We're talking about since the earliest introduction of the mask, but and down in Mexico City when they first brought the first masked luchador. But not only that, as a Mexican, as one that dons the mask, not only are we using this to portray a character, but at the same time we hone in to our ancestors, our past civilizations. Just like I was mentioning, my character derives out of Mayan civilization. You know, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, the Totemecs. They were known to wear masks as for either war, to get ready for war, either to paint their face to or war celebratory masks to either get ready for war, to celebrate some sort of something that to celebrate about. But the mask has always been a huge part of our culture. And when it was introduced into the into lucha libre, you know, obviously as we gave it our own twist to include our own culture to it. So definitely, it's a major player. It's a major aspect of our culture and our sport.
That's amazing. And Cortez Mauricio on the stream has a question. What promotion do you wrestle for, or
I've
or
wrestled for,
have you,
okay,
wrestled? Yeah.
so I've wrestled for, like I said, I've wrestled for over, for now 20 years. I've wrestled for several major promotions and during my career, notably NWA. I've wrestled for the NWA promotion several times before now what it's called now NWA Power. I've wrestled for them before then. I did some time with Lucha Libre USA. I did some time with MLW. I did some shows with MLW. I've done some shows with Impact. I've done shows with obviously I've done some dark matches with in the past with WWE. Uh, so I have quite a bit of a trajectory in the promotions now. Currently, I'm wrestling for several brand new independent promotion wrestlers here in the state. Also, I traveled down to Mexico to wrestle for several promotions down in Mexico. One down Monterrey, Juarez, Guadalajara, Guanajuato, Mexico City. So definitely, I've traveled quite a bit, and I've wrestled for quite a bit of promotions out there.
That's amazing. And do you have any like stories you could tell from like what's that, Rory?
Did you ever WCW?
See, and and he's the one that's complaining about my internet.
Yeah.
There's a little piece of shit internet that you have.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Your internet sucks.
Cortez has another good question. You probably know Thunder Rosa.
I do. Yes, I have the pleasure of knowing of actually calling her a very close friend. She is an amazing wrestler, an amazing human being. We've had the I've had the pleasure to actually have had tag in a match with her and as well wrestled against her. And I tell you what, though, I don't really wrestle women that often, but when I have, I will tell you that she is one of the most hard hitting women that's out there in the business. Man, when she chops, she chops. And but definitely, she's an amazing person. I love her to death. I think she has done a lot for her career, and I only see more greater things for her to happening in the future.
Yeah, she's incredible. I mean, I saw that last match with AEW.
Oh,
Wow,
she was
wow.
badass. That was such an amazing. I mean, I really don't watch a lot of wrestling. To be honest with you, it's kind of ironic. I didn't stay up to date with what's going on unless I know somebody. I'll watch every once in a while. I'll get to watch AEW. Every once in a while, I'll get to watch here and there. But I'm not really. I really don't sit there every Monday or Wednesday or Thursday. I have such a busy schedule that what I'll do, I'll just catch the clips on YouTube or somebody will send me videos and tell me, hey, go watch this. And every once in when I get wind of like for example the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, I definitely wanted to watch that. So so I made sure that even if I didn't watch none of the other matches, I was going to make sure that I was going to watch that one specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah, she's an amazing person.
yeah, I mean, from when I saw her on NWA and AEW, yeah, she's amazing. She's leaps and bounds above a lot of the talent there.
Yeah, yeah, no, and see, and this is one of the things that I tell a lot of wrestlers. The opportunities are not going to come to you. You got to go out there and hustle. You got to go out there and bust your ass to go actually go get them, make them happen for you. And that's what she's doing. Because honestly, she hasn't been in the business for that long. Just a couple of years, but just in the years that she actually has been in the business, I mean, she's not let down. She has not let that gas pedal. She keeps hitting the road every day. She's always doing something. So she's always staying consistent. And in the fans in the audience, it's always there's always something about her. So it's not hard to see that she's doing what she's supposed to do to make herself relevant. You know, and
Yeah,
that's what this business is all about. We got to stay relevant. If not, some guy from some corner down in Kansas be like, well, I don't know who you are. Well, how relevant are you? you know, and trust me,
yeah.
I've had those before. I've had those situations before where some wrestler says, oh, I don't know who you are. Oh, okay, well, I don't know who you are either. But it's all about the relevance of who you are and how you promote yourself. And obviously, going back to Rosa, she knows how to market herself, and she's done it. She's done an amazing job of doing that, and that's why she's at NWA, she's at AEW, she's at Mission Pro. She's pretty much she's all over the place. So, and that's how you make it.
And then we have an interesting question here from King Jacob. He's asked, who would be your dream opponent?
My dream opponent. Well, I mean, unfortunately, he is no longer with us. But that would have been Pedro Aguayo Jr. Unfortunately, he passed away several years ago because of a injury in the ring. I actually got to meet him. I actually got to wrestle in a couple of safe shows in Mexico. Uh, I think he was just a natural. He was just a natural in the sport. I mean, there was just the persona, his characteristics, his ability inside the ring was just compared to none. That would have been one of my dream matches. Right now, I can say that I would definitely go back to. I mean, you and I were talking earlier. I would definitely go back and say that Sammy Guevara. That's definitely another dream match of mine. Even though him and I have faced each other several times in the past year and a couple of years back, but now he's grown so much that I definitely would not mind getting in the ring one more time with him, because that definitely would be one match that I definitely want to make sure it happens.
And then what about wrestling for like the big leagues? Like I know you said you've tried out for them maybe several times throughout your career. What are your thoughts about the big leagues, like WWE, AEW, Impact? Like, what are your thoughts on those?
Uh, my thoughts on that is, everybody has a dream. My dream when I first started, when I started in this business was uh, just to be relevant within my own city. You know, then right after that, I got lucky, blessed, the universe smiled upon me. The rest, that I was able to go to WCW. I was able to train under in power plant back then. Then that's when really my vision opened up to wanting something even bigger than that. Obviously, back then the competition was between WCW and WWF back then, and and for a young 21-year-old Oski back then, obviously the world was, my own pearl. I got introduced into this business. I got trained the right way. I went and still seek more training. And obviously, my goal at that time was to make it in WCW, to be able to be under contract with them. And unfortunately, things didn't line up, because of obviously, the way the company ended. So, uh, but I left with the desire and with the desire and the dedication and focus to know that there was something even bigger out there. Obviously, after that, it was just try and strive, to perfect my craft and go one day hit that brass ring, which would have been WWE. you know uh my journey took me to different places. Obviously, like I was mentioning to you, I've traveled the roads here in the States. I mean, from coast to coast, perfecting my craft, getting myself relevant with many promotions out there. I was able and blessed that I was able to work for many great promotions that had um, national attention. Um, and slowly was making my way towards that dream. I can say that I did do few, did do some appearances with WWE, but never did we. I guess it was just not in the cards for me that moment because uh, it was just my path was different. I just, I knew I wanted it, but when I was there, it just seemed so off. It just didn't click with me. So I'm very appreciative of the fact that they even looked at me and they took the opportunity to give me an opportunity to actually have a dark match, and actually we called several times whenever they were here in town, in Texas. But definitely, I definitely realized that my path was not that after all. So the opportunities came about from other, national recognized promotions. Also be able to be recognized down in Mexico. That I definitely encourage you, that is in this business, that if you're so challenged to go to one of these major promotions, focus on that, get better, perfect your craft, and just keep working, keep working, keep working. I mean, it's not going to take, it's not going to be something that's going to come from one day to another. I mean, it took me several years just for WWE to even give me a call, to be able to invite me over to have a tryout match at one of their house shows. So it definitely takes some time, but like I said, for me, I think it was more the idea of staying independent versus actually landing that huge contract. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie, having that check written out by by Mr. McMahon. I mean, back then it would that would have been great, but then I started realizing that what else was I giving up? From that to where how much I had already cultivated in my career back then. So so I definitely just I opted to continue just working, staying independent. Obviously, it's paid off. I've done so much more in my career that I would not have been able to do with them. But I definitely, don't regret it. I definitely have enjoyed. I've enjoyed this ride. I've enjoyed the fact that I've been able to explore other promotions. I've been able to explore other wrestlers that I've been able to grow and learn and be mentored but many other also names and in this industry that have all have helped me continue being who I am now at this stage in my career.
That's amazing. I mean, you lived the dream. I mean, you did exactly. This is your dream, right? You wanted to be a professional wrestler, so that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the dream costs a lot. It costs a lot. There's a lot of dedication. There's a lot of sacrifices. I mean, this is not just go in the backyard and start rolling around and just put on some trunks or just put on a mask and call yourself a wrestler. I mean, I've dealt with pains and aches. I've dealt with all sorts of things that you know I had to make those decisions, because I wanted this career. I wanted to continue, you know, traveling this road, and it paid off. It paid off. I mean, there's a lot that that may quit at the in the middle of the road, but I didn't. I just kept going, kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing, and I kept hearing, "Don't give up, don't give up, just keep moving. You'll make it, you'll make it," and you know, and that's what I kept doing. So, Rorito, did you fix your piece of shit internet already, or what?
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems
I don't
like
think
it.
so. I don't think
I
you did.
have there's a friend
You
of
still
mine
have
that
you still have
says
that
his
AOL
name is
dial-up?
Dan. He says it looks like you're a young sucks and that you weigh 105 pounds and you wouldn't
Well, hey,
last 5 minutes, 2 minutes with him.
so you know what? Back in the day, I probably would take that as an insult, but right now, hey, I'm 40 and I'm at 178, and I could take you on anytime, even one.
Somebody
Sounds like
attacking
you
my
were
sister.
eating pork rinds.
Well, everyone's saying hello to you on the stream, Oski. Dark Angel, CBB TV.
Hi, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
So, Oski, what is your training like? Like, you hit the gym, like you take like any like supplements, like what does that look like? Like your regimen?
Uh, well, as the years have gone by, like I said, I'm 40 now. Definitely my training has changed from back in the day when I used to have a whole different type of regimen. Now my regimen is um, more concentrated on agility, staying more flexible. So more morning times, typically I'll do some fasted cardio. I'll go and run. I'll go to the gym, do some mobility workouts to maintain my agility to stay flexible and mobile. Uh, and then throughout the day, obviously I got such a busy schedule that I'm always active, so I'm never really sedentary. It's really every once in a while I'll sit down. I'll have a Zoom meeting here and there, but a good amount of my time is I'm always moving. um, I try and I do my best to do a lot of in-ring training. Unfortunately, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's very slim pickings. The places that you can actually go and actually have some ring time. Uh, and then in the evenings, I'll go back to the gym, and then I'll hit the weights. I'll do a lot of compound weights. I'll do and switch that up every once in a while with a lot of Smith machines, free weights, compound weights. So I'll do a little bit of mixture there. And obviously supplementation, a good nutritional regimen. Also, I try to eat as healthy as I can. Obviously, sometimes that's not possible while I'm on the road, but I do my best to keep myself as healthy as I can. So I definitely have changed a lot of my intake. Obviously, like I said, supplements, food, sleep, my rest definitely. Every, I still go. I go to a chiropractor twice a week. I do a lot of hydrotherapy. I do cryotherapy. Except, like I said, I've been wrestling nonstop for 20 years, so the body takes its toll, and and as the body continues changing, I got to change with the times. I got to just definitely whatever works for my body is definitely what I gotta adhere to. But I definitely the only thing that does not change is my style of training. I still get in the ring. I still roll around. I still go back to my old school training, and I just that's the best the best workout that I can get. If I don't go in the mornings to run, or I don't go at nights to go lift weights, definitely the actual in ring training is it's a must.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how could these guys find you? I mean, you're on social media, right?
I'm on social media. I have a background in marketing, so that's one of the things that I definitely have a. That's one of my biggest strengths, is that staying relevant. That's one of the reasons why I was saying that staying relevant in this business, you have to find ways to keep your name out there. And for me, social media is a vital key. Not only on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel which is under Oski the Mayan Warrior. All my other, and my tag names for my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, all of them are under Aski dot Palomino. Now, let me ask, and the only thing I have is, and people ask me why Palomino, and again, I'm a very transparent man. I have nothing to hide, uh, because of the way uh, Facebook, Twitter, uh, and Instagram are. They don't tend to believe that one is a professional wrestler, or so they ask you for that real name type thing, and so it's in a way, it's kind of a way to get yourself out, kind of beat the system, pretty much. So Palomino is my real last. It's my last name, my real last name, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, but if people Google Aski, the Mayan warrior, everything comes up. From my website, from my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, both my brand Facebook and my personal Facebook. So, but everything, if you just Google Aski the Mayan warrior, that's how you'll find me.
Okay. And were you in movies too, and comics as well, or?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, and again, going back to the marketing, gotta find ways to stay relevant. I have a good friend of mine. Has been a brother from another island. I call it, because he's Puerto Rican, and not a true Puerto Rican, not like that Rorito guy. Because what happened to him? He just in and out. I guess that
Yeah.
that AOL dial-up gave up on him or something. That just tells you how, like I said, I'm 40, and I still remember those days. Um, yeah, I mean, his name is Roberto Mercado. I call him Robbie. I mean, he's been my partner, my business partner, for well over almost 8 years. To be honest with you, he's been my business partner for over 8 years. Um, he's the mastermind on this when it comes down to my comic books, and to the movie. So, real quick, the comic books were somewhat of a project that he threw out there, because of he was in that I guess he was having these creativity ideas where he wanted to write a comic book about a fictional wrestler. And through some conversations, my name came about, and he approached me and he told me, "Hey, I'm trying to do this, but instead of doing it, instead of doing someone that is a fake wrestler, I wanted to do somebody that's real and that I know, and you know, and who better than you?" And at the end, I when he asked me about it, I was in the middle of doing so many other projects that I'm like, you know what, go for it, go do it. I'm cool with it. Just give me credit, and we'll just talk about everything else later on. Well, from that one comic book, now we are at eight comic books. So we have eight comic books. We have one. We have a graphic novel, and we have and out of that graphic novel, he came up with the idea of writing a screenplay for a movie. And you know, to make a long story short, he wrote the movie. He wrote the movie script based on my character and on some loosely personal experiences of mine. Uh, and we he came up with this concept of this slasher action, style movie. If you're very well versed on the old lucha libre movies from back in the 60s and the 70s, uh, the El Santo, Blue Demon, Mil Máscaras, they were very known for those style movies back in Mexico. So what Robbie wanted to do, he wanted to incorporate that kind of style with today's slasher style, and just kind of revamp it. And and next thing you know, we got ourselves a director, we got ourselves a producer. The entire project, the entire team was amazing. I mean, we had so much fun. We filmed it here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Uh, we had guys from that were ex WWE superstars that actually took part of it. The name of the movie was called Aztec versus the Prowler of the Lonely Woods. I know, long title, but it was an amazing indie film that that really did catch a lot of people's attention. We were actually nominated for an award for it was an award show out in Louisiana that typically awards for indie movies that are in the slasher theme. So we unfortunately we didn't win, but we got recognized as one of the top contender movies for the actual festival. Uh, so we are. I mean, if it hadn't been for him, I mean, I would not have been in the movie. That was my first leading role. Uh, and then definitely, I mean, these comic books have not only been a source for us to expand the Aski universe or the Aski brand, but it also we thought also utilized them to educate. To we've taken them to educate the children, because I do a lot of work with a lot of nonprofit organizations that deal with runaway kids, abused, and foster child, and also I go and do a lot of talks at different schools. Uh, and so we take a lot of these comic books and we turn them into educational tools, to where we actually give them out to a lot of these educational and non-for-profit organizations to be used for that specific purpose. And that's one of the reasons why I do a lot of these motivational talks. I go and do speaking roles at high schools, junior highs, elementaries, because I mean, I grew up in Dallas. I went through all my years since I was 8 years old. I grew up here, so I went through the entire. So I know what it is to go through all those phases. So I do relate with a lot of kids. I relate with the kids that feel that they don't have a father figure or a mentor. So so that's one of the reasons why we also came up with the idea of the comic books to have some sort of an educational background to it, because that is one of the tools that we utilize when we go and do. When I say we, because Robbie typically goes with me because we're a team. So wherever I go, he goes. So um, so definitely we use that as a learning tool for whatever situation that we're invited to, that has to do with education, mentorship, personal growth, child, for kids that are in that need. I am one to be the first one to to raise my hand and and give whatever assistance that I can.
That's amazing. I mean, wow, that's very noble of you to do that. You know, it's that's incredible. It is,
Thank you,
and
thank you. I
oh, no
mean,
problem.
and like I said, I'm a very transparent man. Not only being transparent, but I'm a very spiritual man. I always give, I always give thanks to God, because He's the one that has allowed me to be in this industry for 20 years, and an industry that, I mean, we have no guarantees that we're gonna last even a year. I've had colleagues that have started in the industry, and within less than a year, they get injured, and unfortunately, they can't wrestle anymore. I have colleagues that unfortunately, their bodies have taken such a toll that they have to retire. And by the grace of God, I mean, I had a major injury, and within the first 3 years of my career, I had a severe trauma to my head by and I was in, and I'm okay with sharing it with everybody. I mean, it happened so many years ago, but also just to show how great God is, because again, I'm a very spiritual man, and I give dues to and many people may think, oh, okay, well, he's gonna talk about God. I'm not going to talk about God. I'm just going to talk about what He's done for me, and that's why I'm here. Be able to talk to you. Be able to still say, you know what? After those initial 3 years, yeah, I was all over the place. He, had that accident, but by His grace and mercy, I was able to get pull through. I was in ICU for a whole week. I probably wasn't going to even make it. I was bedridden for 6 months, near almost uh, going to be in a wheelchair. And again, by His grace and mercy, I was able to pull through. And ever since then, I've been going still hard at it. I still wrestle. I still enjoy it. And every time I get in the ring, you can see every time I get in the ring, I always give Him thanks to get in and to leave. Why? Because not only am I taking care of myself, but I'm taking care of whoever I'm wrestling against. I may not like the guy that's across the way from me, but at the end of the day, I respect him too, because he's a human being, that already has a family, like just like I do. I'm a single father of two precious 8-year-old twin girls, and at the end of the day, I don't think my girls want to see their dad, get hurt. So, but yeah, I mean, it's an we live in we're staying, we're in an industry that nothing is guaranteed for us. So so for me to go out there and tell my testimony, to be able to say, what, this is the reason why I'm still here. This is the reason why I know anyone that tells you otherwise, it's only you, the one that's going to tell you. I tell kids, and even the grown-ups, the only person that can tell you you cannot do it is the person that looks in front of you, in front of a mirror. That's the only person that should tell you you can't do something. Otherwise, nobody else can tell you. Only you. You're the only person that can tell yourself you can't do something. But it's in our best interest to change that mindset and be able to do what other people are telling you not to do. And that was the thing with me also. I grew up with people telling me I couldn't do things because either because of my stature, because I was considered short, for being a Mexican. I'm 5'6". I was considered short. Because because I was sick, or because of whatever reason. And because of those naysayers, that just kept driving me to want to do more and to be able to do what they were, they didn't believe in me. And 20 years later, you know, again, I'm very thankful to God that I've had a long lasting career. I've made tons of friends, tons of colleagues, tons of relationships. I've been able to travel the world. I've been able to, do what I love to do, which is this professional wrestling, and I love it. And I'm just hoping to be able to do it for a couple of more years.
Yeah, that's an inspiration to us all, man. That was so motivational. I mean, the struggles you've been through and everything you talk. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, was there ever a time when you were in the ring where the match broke out into a shoot?
Oh gosh, Mexico. Oh, I was in. Actually, it was the first show that I did in my hometown of León, Guanajuato. I uh, I was invited. I I actually was, So story is, they even told me, they even warned me. Some colleagues from here, they're like, "Hey, watch out whenever you go to Mexico. They're gonna try and shoot on you, because if they do, because they want to see how well you can defend yourself." I'm like, okay, I'll I'll take it under consideration. Basically, goes out one year, goes out the other. I know how to take care of myself. Thankfully, not only do I have, I train, but I've had some other, styles of self defense in the past. So, so I can pretty much, take care of my own if need be. So, but so I went down there. I introduced myself to to the promoter, and he tells me, "Hey, you know what? We're down one guy. You want to go ahead and come in for an earlier show, because I was only booked for one show." So he gave me the show before. I was supposed to be wrestling on Saturday. I ended up wrestling also Friday night, which was that incident. So I show up, go up to the locker room, and introduce myself to everybody. Obviously nobody knows who I am. All they know is that I'm a foreigner. That I'm from that I came from Texas. Even though I'm talking to everybody in Spanish, I'm telling them, "Oh yeah, no, I was born here. I live here. I actually live about 20 minutes from here." And so, but they're still like, "Nah, you're not, you're not." So anyway, so long story short, we get in the ring. So one of the guys that I actually wrestled, his name is Cuervo. I remember him. He was known. He was very notorious. He was a notorious person that would baptize, or any newcomer into the actual promotion. And somebody in the back told me, he's like, "Hey, you're gonna go against Cuervo. Make sure that you listen to what he's telling you, because if you don't listen, um, he's gonna shoot." Obviously, we're having all this conversation in Spanish. So I'm like, okay. So we get in the ring. This is, and mind you, this is we're doing Mexican lucha. We're doing 2 out of 3. So first of all, nothing really happens. Him and I, we don't even cross any, we don't even cross, we don't even get in the ring at the same time. So goes that. Second fall, he looks at me, and I'm like, so he wants to get in the ring. Okay, cool. I get in there. We start rolling around. We start doing a little bit of chain wrestling. Well, mind you, he had me in this hold, and I guess he didn't expect for me to break out of it. That he got pissed off. So next thing you know, I turn around, reverse it. He literally hits me with his elbow right on my forehead, like blank here. And I started seeing some stars there. And then next thing you know, he puts me, he throws me down in a judo slam. and he has me on the floor, and he's actually working on my shoulder.
Oh wow.
So he started to shoot on me. I'm like, okay, all right, so here we go. So next, so as soon as I started to find a way to get myself out of it, I got him in a rear naked chokehold, and I squeeze. I don't think I squeezed. I think I've never squeezed that hard on somebody that he definitely he knew I wasn't playing around either. So next thing you know, he rolls out of ref breaks the hold. He rolls out. He starts complaining to one of the other guys that was in the match. The other guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, he's saying that that you're a little too rough. That you shouldn't have done that to him." And I'm like, "Okay, well, he shouldn't have done that to me either. So we're supposed to have be wrestling, uh, so we get in there. He doesn't even want to wrestle against me the entire match. Now we go back upstairs to the locker room. He's talking all sorts of shit, he's throwing suitcases and whatnot, saying that I shouldn't have been allowed to get in there because I was not trained. And I looked at him. I was like, oh, because he even asked like, "Man, who trained you?" And I'm like, okay, so does that even matter? And I mean, he was so pissed off that I'm like, look, at the end of the day, if you want to throw down, let's go ahead. Let's throw down right here, right now. But he just didn't want to do it. He didn't want to deal with it. He's just like, that's not the point. That's not the point. But you just got to take care of, you got to take care of each other. And, I got in his face, and, it was just, I told him, I was like, look, you started it. I finished it. You didn't like that effect that I finished it. And then ever since then, every time I go to Mexico, I usually see him, and now every time I see him, he'll come up to me, he'll shake hands, and we'll just talk. And you know, we're not the best of buds, but now he has that level of respect because again, he's known to be one of those that doesn't really like foreigners, and he always wants to make a point not to allow foreigners to be there, and by shooting on them. And you know, with me, it was the other way around. He did shoot on me, but I returned the favor. I returned the receipt back on him, so it was just like, one for one. And but it's but those that's one of the many situations that I had. But most of them have always had been in Mexico. Kid you not. And that's the only reason why whenever I go down there, now you know I go with the mentality that I just got to be careful because you never know. There's always somebody out there that's just not really could be in a pissed off mood and they just want to take it up on you. And obviously, and it can happen anywhere. I mean, I've had some situations here in the States also, but you know, um, but a little twerk in the leg, a twerk on the arm, usually calms their asses down, and we go back to normal, and we get back in, we get back on the on what we're trying to do, which is entertain the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, Rory, he asked, what happened with that time that you got hit with a cinder block?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's no, well, no, because he's talking about Cuervo from Puerto Rico. Yeah, no, the Cuervo that I'm talking about, this Cuervo, he is from León, Guanajuato. You got to understand that, the audience has to understand. I mean, fortunately, there's a lot of wrestlers out there that some of them may have a similar name, but they come from different, they come from different backgrounds. Yes, I do recall the situation where Cuervo from Puerto Rico got hit by a cinder block from another wrestler, which was not a good. I mean, it was a bad situation because I mean, no matter what, I get it. There's different styles of wrestling. Actually, hardcore, and you have your hardcore matches, but never should any wrestler be allowed to use. Uh, I mean, this was not even a I mean, this was not even a fake cinder block. This is, I mean, definitely, this was a real cinder block. And the dude just, I mean, and the wrestler just basically grabbed the cinder block and tossed it at Cuervo. And I mean, by God's grace, he even killed him. You know,
Wow.
so it was definitely a shoot. Uh, it's one of those things I personally do not condone. I mean, there's a time and place. There's but situations like that should never have happened, in our sport. Not at all. I mean, I, I respect I respect any wrestler that, that likes the concept of hardcore wrestling. I grew up watching hardcore wrestling. One of my mentors was one of my mentors, because I have a couple of them. But one of my mentors was one of the original ECW. Was one of the ECW originals. And I've been around the likes of Sabu, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer. I've been around guys like that, where I've heard some of those stories, and I've actually seen it live. And
Wow.
and to have seen that footage, because I mean that footage was leaked everywhere, and to see the footage of seeing this guy hit Cuervo with a real life cinder block, it was just not, condoned. It was not acceptable. Now, there's another. I think that now I don't know if that might have been the one that he's talking about, but there was another situation. Uh, uh, Triple Mania. Dr. Wagner and Blue Demon Jr. Blue Demon Jr. did the same thing. He got a cinder block and hit Dr. Wagner in the head too.
Wow.
But this was, and I don't know, two different scenarios, two different places, two different promotions. One was a real cinder block, and really did damage to this guy. The other one, I mean, it was AAA.
Yeah.
It's like saying, you go through a table with WWE. Obviously, I'm just gonna leave it there. But I mean, and again, it could be. I don't know which situation he's referring to, but if it's the Cuervo Puerto Rico, then yes, that definitely did happen. The Triple Mania event, fight between Dr. Wagner and my godfather, Blue Demon Jr. That definitely happened too, but I think both got some level of audience and notoriety, but at the end of the day, I think one was less aggravating than the other one. So
Yeah, Roy, he's confirmed it. Yeah, Cuervo, Cuervo incident. Yeah,
okay,
that was
okay.
it. Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't think they're talking about the Blue Demon one,
This guy, Joe Ziden says, "Take your mask off. Stop hiding behind a mask."
but what mask? What are you talking about? What mask? This is my real face.
The Daily Damn blog again. He said he's so boring. Matt's yawning and drinking coffee.
Oh he needs to go and watch Care Bears or something. Maybe that'll entertain him. I don't know what he wanted to tell you here. I mean, we're talking wrestling. If
Yeah,
you're a
I
wrestling
know.
fan and you're not enjoying this, then you need to find something else to do. You know.
Yeah, I mean this is amazing. I mean, we're getting a first person experience of professional wrestling from his 20 years experience. I mean, you guys should appreciate this, you know?
And I was telling you, I'm a very blunt man. I'm a very honest and transparent. I mean, people ask me things. I'm not one to shy away from the punches. Uh, as I said, I've had some amazing mentors. You know, Rodney Mack has been one of my mentors. He's the reason why I got into the business. He's my first mentor. He's my first teacher. As a matter of fact, we talk at least twice a week. He's one of the reasons why I am, in talks with, SWE, here in Texas. I've had mentors, trainers, from the likes of him, Jazz, Blue Demon Jr., which is he's my godfather, and I've had, my career has not been a just a indie career where I've just been in one city only. I've traveled. I've traveled the world. I have the credentials. I have everything that backs up my career, backs up who I am. So comments, I've heard them all. I've heard everything. I've heard the oh, you look like this person, or you want to mimic. I am not trying to mimic anyone. I'm not trying to be like anyone. I'm just trying to be me, trying to do what I've done, and obviously it has worked for 20 years. By mimicking somebody, I wouldn't have probably not made it past a year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean, what would be like one of the worst experiences you had in professional wrestling in your career? You'd say
My injury, my
the
injury,
injury. Okay.
my injury. I mean, definitely, it's not something that I ever would wish it upon anyone. Uh, Honestly, it was a career-ending injury. Being dropped on my head uh, by and not only was I able, but here's what I want people to understand. Not only was I dropped on my head, but I still finished the match, and I think that was even the worst mistake that I should have just I should have just called it. But I still wanted to finish the match. I finished the match, and so the worst experience was being bedridden, being in an ICU, bedridden, being in a wheelchair, uh, having the uncertainty that not having the certainty of knowing what exactly was going to happen with my life, not knowing whether I was ever going to walk again, whether I was even going to ever wrestle again. So to me, that has been the worst experience, ever. In these 20 years, nothing tops that.
What how did you get dropped on your head? Was it someone's mistake or?
It was miscommunication between between myself and the wrestler that I was facing that afternoon. Uh, I had he caught me off guard. Changed something in in what we were what has been what we were working on, and again, it was just it was just luck of the draw. And again, this sport, we tend to know how we're going to get in the ring, but we don't know how we're going to get down from the ring. And unfortunately, it was my moment at that time. And some people call it it was a rookie mistake. Others just call it an unfortunate accident. I just call it was just a moment in what God pulled my leg because I was a little too I was too cocky back then. I had a lot of I was going through a lot of pride. I was going through a lot of cockiness back then. I had a lot of attention. I was I was on top of the hill basically. And to me, that's just a way where the universe say, hey, calm down, slow your ass down. This is go back and reset and really put a lot of things in perspective. But whenever people ask me that, yeah, definitely it's that accident. And again, things get called in the ring, and sometimes things don't necessarily work in that in the same manner. Obviously, your audience, I mean, we all know a lot of things that really goes on in professional wrestling as far as when it gets into the ring. Things get called, things get And sometimes things change, and obviously that was was the situation on my end. Something just changed, within the matter of seconds, and I was on the losing end of the short end of the stick is the one that I got.
Mm. Jeez, that's horrible that's happened to you. But you made a full recovery?
Uh, yes, it took a year. It took a year for me to make a full recovery. Like I said, I was in the hospital. I was in ICU for a whole week. Was not sure what was going to happen. I was bedridden for the majority of that year. I was in a wheelchair, and definitely, did not know what was going to happen. But I thankfully, again, thankfully to God, He pulled me out of this and made a full recovery where even the doctors even the doctors were amazed. They didn't really, didn't even think that I even had an accident. I was, I showed no recurring effects, that no scar tissue, not nothing that showed like I was even, that I was even injured.
Wow.
So, so again, it just gives a big testimony to, my beliefs, my strong faith and belief that, God can do anything. And, I'm a living testimony because I'm still here 20 years, after, 20 years now. I'm still, I didn't hold back. I didn't stop, didn't think, oh man, I better not wrestle anymore. I don't want to get hurt again, or take it easy. I'm not gonna, I don't want to risk myself, go out there and with the idea of I'm gonna get injured again. And as soon as the doctors gave me the clearance, I rehabbed and came back and didn't stop me ever since then. I've not stopped. Yeah, it's been like that ever since then.
Wow. I mean, that's a testament, I mean, to you and your, your faith. You never lost faith, you never gave up, and that's incredible. This guy, Philly Fat Guy, says he wants to go one-on-one with you.
Anytime, anytime. Get in the ring. Definitely. We go 1-on-1.
Oh, and Rory asked, where can we buy an autographed mask or picture of you?
They can go to any of my social media platforms. Aski the Mayan Warrior. Shoot me a DM, and I can give you price, and I can let you know exactly what we have right now in stock, and kind of give you all the logistics of ship and delivery and everything. And everything gets authenticized. I sign it and send a picture of it as well, so that way it's so they know it's authentic.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah. So anything like what you see here, this kind of mask, so either my masks, I have shirts, I have pictures, I have the comic books, I have stuff, toys as well. So, and just to let everybody know that whatever whenever people do buy stuff from me, I do take some of those proceeds and I do donate them to women's shelters. I do the Boys and Girls Club. I try and find organizations. As of recently, I've donated money to the Scottish Rite Hospital for Children. Uh, so I do take some of those proceeds and actually donate them back to the community. So so whatever help whatever people buy, do know that you're not only helping me, by purchasing my items, but you're also helping somebody else that is also in need. And that's one of the things one of the reasons why I keep pushing my merchandise a lot. So it's not because I want you to buy my stuff and be like, please buy my stuff. No, I definitely I do. I'm making an effort to let people know that whatever you buy, not only again you're buying it to help to buy something for me, but at the same time I'm using some of that money to actually help help those that are also in need. We actually had a huge snowstorm. I mean, here in Texas, I mean, it blanketed the entire state, and I was able to use some of that funding that I had from my merchandise to where we were able to assist and help people that didn't have food. We partner up with a nonprofit food organization here in Dallas, and we gave out 162 boxes full of food for families that were also in need. And so definitely, uh, again, the contributions do matter. So for me, I use my merchandise as a means to do that too. So that's definitely one way to help out.
Wow, and you were affected by the snowstorm over there too?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
I was out of electricity for 4 days.
Wow.
I had no electricity for 4 days. In and out. Power came on at about 30 minutes every time, throughout the day. It would come on for 30 minutes, and then it would be out for about 4.5, 5 hours. And so let me tell you what I miss I miss Mexico right about that time. I'm I'm a hot blooded Mexican, and that definitely cooled me down. 4 days, no heater, no electricity, definitely can humble a man down, and definitely it makes you appreciate the finer things in life. Definitely what God gives you, man. You gotta take everything. Don't take anything for granted, because we're here one moment and we out of here the next. So but yeah, definitely 4 days with no electricity.
Oh, wow. See, Rory says, Oski, can you give a comic book to Dark Angel or someone for being supportive to you during the stream?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I have no that be more than happy to do it. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, Oski, what do you see in your future, like in professional wrestling? Do you see you joining maybe one of the big leagues, or do you still think you're going to do like work the indies, or what do you think is in your future?
Well, right now the future is uh, very bright in my career. I have been very blessed to have landed some amazing contacts with some of the some great up and coming promotions that are definitely making some waves, are on the national level. There is a there's potential talks, and that's all how I'm going to leave it at right now, with a major promotion. Uh, right now, I won't say too much, but let's just say that the opportunities are there. It's just a matter of me deciding which way I want to take it. Obviously, I enjoy being an independent wrestler. I have so much more freedom that definitely whoever uh, opens that door definitely has to, I definitely have to consider a lot. I have to wage what definitely is, and at hand right now. And for me, is all these projects that I have that I'm part of, and so whatever promotion is ready to bring me on, they just gotta understand that a lot of things that I've worked for so hard for my career in 20 years, I can't just put them on the back burner for them. And it definitely has to make a lot of sense. And but there are we are having conversations with a major brand, uh, but again, won't say who it is. Obviously, we have quite a few right now that are game players here. But right now, I'm just enjoying it. I'm just enjoying and I'm enjoying being an independent. I'm enjoying being able to work with whoever at any time, with no strings attached. Now, if like I said, the opportunity comes, and they're willing to negotiate and and work with me, anything can be, and anything is possible.
That's amazing. I mean, hopefully, things work out, and you get exactly what you want, and you deserve it. You worked for it. You definitely deserve it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's been 20. I mean, 20 years. But I mean, 20 years are not easy to say in this business. Obviously, 20 years I've taken a lot, but it's also given me a lot. So definitely, I have to respect. I have to give respect to that time that I've invested in this business, and definitely have to be wise and how I'm going to approach the next coming up projects and opportunities that are, again, are almost here. They're here in this, that are possibly going to happen this year. So I definitely have to be very wise. And I think now with my experience, my years in this business, and the opportunities that I know, the the quality of work that I can bring to the table, and my experience once again speaks for itself. So that's definitely one of the things that I do. I do want these promotions to know that they're not just getting a masked wrestler. They're bringing in somebody that's full and complete. That's the entire package. I'm just not your cookie cutter wrestler. I'm more than that. So that's one of that's why I take this into consideration of being just an independent wrestler for now and see what happens. Just leave it in God's hands and continue moving forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you believe like everything happens for a reason?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the universe lines up everything because it's already meant to happen. We just gotta walk. We just gotta continue walking. You just gotta keep walking and just trusting the process. Everything happens because it's already been written. We just gotta. Sometimes we deviate from the road because we want to do our own thing. But the universe has a way to bring you back into that, to those paths. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer just because we take our own path because we think taking a shortcut is going to take us is going to get us there quicker than but we don't realize that that's actually going to take us even longer to get back into that same road.
Yep, absolutely. And then we have a few aspiring wrestlers in the future. Do you have any words of wisdom for these guys who would potentially want to become a wrestler?
Yes. If you want to get in this business, honestly, to be honest with you, you have to have the heart for it. You have to know that this road is not an easy road. There's a lot of pain, but there's a lot of gain also to come with it. Sacrifices, dedication. Uh, you have to know that this business can be very rewarding if you know how to if you have a goal in mind. Obviously, the first thing I would say is find yourself a reputable school, a school that has had that 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 can uh, that can show the merits and actually tell actually can show that they can actually teach you what it is to be in this sport. There's a lot of places out there that are just they're known to just take the money away and then don't teach you anything. But then there's those schools that are going to groom you and teach you the basics, just like I was taught. Again, I keep name dropping, but he loves it. Even if he sees this interview, he loves it. The fact that I give shout outs to Rodney Mack. To me, he is by far one of the best in this industry, and he continues to be. He keeps just showing up every time, every time, every time. I'm one of I'm very proud to be one of his first original students. That's a lot of things that I don't share, but yeah, We're known as the Dog Pound Dojo, and I was one of his first students. When he first started the Dog Pound Dojo back in early 2000s. So I'm proud. I'm proud of that. But I came up from someone that knows the business, loves the business, and taught me the right way. And obviously, as as I continue down my path in my career, look for mentors. Look for mentors that have done something in this business. Just because somebody tells you, they're in the business doesn't necessarily mean that they've actually done something with it. Go and go and find yourself some mentors that actually have traveled the road, that actually can impart some wisdom. Why? Because that's how you're going to learn. Continue learning, never stop learning. The day that you stop learning, that you feel like you've learned enough, that's when you're going to be in trouble. At me at 40 years old, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm not, I haven't stopped learning. I still learn. As a matter of fact, I just had a match this Saturday, and I just learned something. I learned a few more things about the guy that I wrestled. And I learned some other stuff about myself that I wasn't, that it just dawned to me. So definitely, anyone that wants to be in this business, I encourage you to do so if you have the heart for it. Know that, again, this is an amazing industry to be part of, but it's going to be one that's going to be the hardest, because this is a sport. This is not something that you just don't see this on WWE and don't take account the years, the hard work that these guys have put in to be where they at. You see the people at AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Major League Wrestling, you know, and all the countless independent promotions and all the wrestlers that are out there, the ones that we have, you know trail path, trailblaze this path, and the ones that have gone before us, all the years, and they will tell you, a good foundation comes from a good foundational school. You find yourself a right school, you find the right teachers, the right mentors. You can do a lot in this business. You gotta just do your due diligence, and do it and do it right, and then you can get far in this industry.
Thank you for that, Oski. Is there a school that you would recommend these guys ask?
Depends on where they at. There's so many good schools, around the country. Here in Texas, obviously, there's quite a few. We are, Texas. We are, one of the capital states of the, professional wrestling. Next to football, wrestling is the next one here. So definitely here in Texas, there's some great schools that definitely that I can recommend. But again, it depends on where you live, and you're just a couple of clicks away from just Googling, or go to your, if you have a wrestling promotion out there, go talk to a couple of wrestlers. Just ask, hey, which school, where, who did you train under? And they can, they tell you. Always word of mouth recommendation is the best. Sometimes that can take you a long way.
Okay, thank you for that, Oski. I appreciate it. I'm sure these guys really appreciate it as well. And is there how do we get in contact with you again? If on social media, do you search for you, Oski the Mayan Warrior?
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone, again, I'm very transparent. Anytime anyone messages me, rest assured that it's me that's answering. I don't have anyone. I don't have anyone managing my accounts. I don't have these bot messages that automatically send you a message and say, "Oh, thanks for," none of that. Screw all that. I'm the one that messages. You message, I respond back. Sometimes it may take me a day. So mind you, pretty busy, but I always get back to you. I always respond back to your messages. So anyone that wants to reach out, anyone wants to come and follow my social media, just type in Oski the Mayan Warrior, just as it is on on the stream, or just Oski.palomino, and also the same thing. It will come up under Instagram, Facebook, Facebook brand, Twitter, and obviously here on also on YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, and Dark Angel said she'll contact you on. She's going to send you her info for the comic.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Dark Angel. All right, that's nice. Thank you,
Yeah.
Oski. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Is there anything you like to say? Rory asked for. Do you have a message for bullies?
Bullies are nothing but scared little kids that it's just a fear of themselves. They prey on those that they feel they're weaker than them, and unfortunately, and to be ironically, they're the weaker ones. So to anyone that's out there, because now, I mean, bullying has become such a national, worldwide. I'll say national, but it's a worldwide problem. And really, bullying does not only stay within kids now. I mean, it's all over the world. You have bullying through cyberbullying, verbal attacks, and to me, I don't condone it. I think that's pettiness. That is immaturity, and what I would encourage anyone out there, that if you have experienced, are experiencing any sort of bullying, doesn't matter what kind of bullying it is. Bullying is bullying. Reach out to someone. Reach out to someone. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. It's okay to ask for help. There's many hotlines out there that are willing to help. There are teachers, mentors, a close family friend, a close family member. Never feel like you cannot come to someone to talk about these kind of situations. Trust me, I I've dealt with people like that in my entire life. I used to be bullied when I was a kid, and so I know how it feels. So I can relate to anyone that's out there feeling that in that manner. Obviously, things have gotten much worse now, where people feel like there's only one solution to this, and let me tell you, that is not the solution. Solution is for you to speak up, feel comfortable, go to somebody, go if you go to church, go talk to a pastor, go talk to a youth leader, go talk to a priest, go talk to someone that you feel comfortable with. Talk to, call one, search a 1-800, the 1-800, hotlines that are there to help, seek help. Help does not mean you're weak. Help only makes you stronger. Why? Because you admit to yourself that you need help, and that, and there's always a lending hand on the other side of that, on that other side of the screen, the other side of the phone, wherever. Never be afraid, never be embarrassed. Always seek the help. Because you never, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and at the end of the day, when you do right, you'll get rewarded right. So.
Wow, that was amazing. That was a amazing speech there. Incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Oski. Thank you so much. Let's see if Dark Angel asks, is the Dark Angel name as a heel a good name, or Athena Rose as a face a good name? She's a lady, Dark Angel.
It depends on it depends on what your background story is, and it depends on uh, both names. Both names are good. They're both names are they're they have a way to resonate with people's attention. they have that attention, to be resonated with. You just got to understand. You have to learn, your character development. The name is just a small part of of your persona. It's your character development that's going to give that name life. That's going to give that, that's really going to bring what the name stands for. So either or, nowadays you can call you can be Dark Angel and you can be a face. Dark Angel, you can be a heel. I've been on both sides of the coin with my name. I've been a heel and I've been a face. you know so the name really doesn't, it's not going to make a difference whether you're going to be a face or you're going to be a heel. It's more about your character development, who and what you're trying to achieve in the moment. So either or, both names are good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And some of these guys are asking if you were selling different color masks or just the one color you're wearing.
No, I have different brands of colors, and obviously I'm going to be updating my social media pages, where I have a special page, a special area where I do have my merchandise, all my shirts, my masks. They're all semi-pro style masks, which means they're a little bit better quality than the typical masks that are made out of just cloth. So, but there I do have uh, plenty of masks that are different colors. So this is the new one that I came up with this for this year. So, but I do have other ones in different various colors. So, shoot me a DM. Yeah, shoot me a DM if you are interested. Definitely, I can talk to you about it and see what I can help you with.
Awesome, awesome. That's great, Oski. They know where to find you. You search your name, Oski the Mayan Warrior.
Yeah,
So that's it.
exactly. That's
Yeah,
it. I
that's it.
mean, it doesn't get as easy. It doesn't get any easier than that. Just type in Aski the Mayan Warrior, and my social media pages. All my platforms come up. Like I said, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So, but I will let y'all know that my merchandise is more on. It's going to be found on my Oski brand page. That's where you're going to be able to find it. So that's where you'll have to go.
Okay.
Yeah, but either or, doesn't matter. Whichever platform you come up first, shoot me a message, and then I'll direct you to where you have to go.
Okay, perfect. And the Daily Dan blog says if you send him a comic, he'll review it on his YouTube channel.
Perfect. Hey, yeah, definitely. Have Send me a DM. Go to my page. Go to my Facebook. Go to my Instagram. Uh, doesn't matter whichever one you go to. Just send me your information, and we'll make it happen.
Awesome, awesome. And Oski, the Mayan Warrior, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Is there anything you want to leave us with for the interview? Anything you would like to say, or?
Well, Matt, I just want to thank you. I mean, I want to thank you for the opportunity, for this space that you've gifted me to be able to talk to you, talk to your audience. Definitely, I've enjoyed being part of your show, being part of being able to share a little bit of my career with you all, and share my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, my craziness, my experiences. Definitely has been a blast. I definitely hope that this is not the only time I'm part of this show. I definitely want to come back at a later point, later time. Maybe talk about Taco Libre, which is another event that some of the other projects are coming up. Taco Libre. I have it's so much. I mean, definitely we need more than 2 hours to talk about everything that I got going on.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I've enjoyed it. I've had so much fun, being part of this. I do appreciate the time. Appreciate you. Appreciate Rorito, where the hell he's at. He needs to go. He needs to go to, I don't know, AT&T, Spectrum, whatever. Instead of AOL, quick, using dial-up, Rorito. So, but I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate him for making this happen. Appreciate the audience for their interaction, for their questions. I mean, definitely, it's been a blast. And I definitely looking forward to coming back. And again, everyone, y'all can go and follow me on all my social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Aski the Mayan Warrior.
All right, perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Oski. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, I hope to have you on here again soon. I mean, it was an amazing interview. Thank you.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. I definitely have had a lot of fun. A lot of fun being here.
Thank you for your time. I mean, yeah, I mean, words can't describe how much I appreciate this. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure. It's been a real honor, and I'm humbled to have been able to partake in this opportunity to be here and again share some of my experiences, some of my background, and and again to show that my love for this sport is goes beyond words. I love it. I respect this industry. For 20 years, I've been giving it all, and I'm going to continue giving it all as much more as as however long God allows me to do it. I'm going to continue being Oski the Mayan Warrior in and out of the ring, and here for the for the audience, for the fans, for whoever wants to lend me in. Again, don't be afraid. Don't feel embarrassed. Help is always on there.
That's nice. I mean, thank you for being such a role model, and just being, you live your dream, and it's incredible. You're just such an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, anytime. All right, Oski. I hope you be safe, and I'll see you again soon.
Absolutely, Matt. Appreciate it. Thank you again. God bless y'all. Take care of each other. And we'll be seeing y'all soon.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you. I'll see you.
All right, y'all do the same. Appreciate it.
No problem. That was Oski, the Mayan warrior. Wow, what an amazing interview. I mean, that was incredible. Oski, the Mayan warrior. I know we were supposed to watch Dark Side of the Ring, but that interview was just so good. I mean, it was probably better than Dark Side of the Ring. So yeah, it was incredible. That was amazing. What an amazing interview that was. That was the first interview I've ever done for with a professional wrestler. So that's incredible. I look forward to seeing to having more interviews in the future. So hopefully it was good. I think we had a good time tonight.